Manchester United 3, Burnley 2. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't see the end of this game. I didn't see the penalty kick that Bruno Fernandes scored to win the game for Manchester United. I didn't see the foul. I didn't know if it was controversial or not. Okay? I basically went, I turned off after 74 minutes to watch Wrexham. It looks like they're going to beat Millwall here 2-0. That's all. Look, and the reason I turned it off was because it was absolutely atrocious watching Manchester United. Okay? In the first half, they looked dominant. They look in control. But they weren't putting the ball in the back of the net. The only goal they got was off a Josh Cullen own goal, which barely went over the line. The goalkeeper tried to knock it back, but it went in. Clearly, it went in, Nebraska couldn't stop it. But Manchester United should have been up 2-0. They had a break in like the 45th minute. Ahmad, I think, had a chance to make the ball 2-0, basically put the game out of reach. But ultimately, in the second half, Burnley played a little bit better. They got a goal at the Lyle Foster scored in the 55th minute. Right after that, Mbumo scored, made it in the 57th minute, 2-1, and then Jackson Anthony on basically a goalkeeper error by Andy made it 2-2, and then what happened happened. Like I said, I didn't see the penalty. I don't know. Maybe it was a good call. Maybe it was a bad call. I basically tuned out, and the reason I tuned out was because Manchester United is absolutely atrocious. Okay, they are a garbage team. I said last week that you are a big club. You are not a big club until proven otherwise. And right now, Manchester United has not proven. Look, they basically got this win off the skin of their teeth. Okay, a penalty is what got them this victory. You're not talking about Arsenal here. Okay, you're not talking about Manchester City or Liverpool or even Aston Villa for that matter. You're talking about Burnley, a promoted club. Burnley basically pretty much outplayed you for most of the second half from what I saw. Okay, I mean, the statistics don't really tell a true story. I mean, it was 62% possession by Manchester United, 6 shots on goal to 3 by Burnley, 26 shot attempts to 6 by Burnley, 9 fouls apiece, 5 corner kicks to 5 yellow cards to Burnley to 1 for Manchester United, no red cards, 7 corner kicks to Manchester United to 1 by Burnley, 5 saves by Burnley keeper. It looks like it looks like that Manchester United dominated the game and just controlled the game. And if you look from the statistics, you say Manchester United won the game and they dominated the game, but in reality they didn't. Okay, they absolutely looked. They basically looked disinterested. They just did not look interested in playing against Burnley. They just and you would think that after what happened against Grimsby Town, Grimsby, was that Grimsby? I think it was Grimsby. Yeah, against Grimsby Town. Hold on, let me get this. Yeah, you would have thought about what happened against Grimsby Town, that they would be much interested and much more desire to do something about this game. You would have thought that Manchester United would have come out gangbusters and scored and scored and scored and kept on scoring. And only an own goal at 1-0 halftime. It was just, they played well in the first half. They dominated in the first half, but they just did not put the ball in the back of the net. And then in the second half, Burnley probably realized, hey, we're playing Manchester United Old Trafford, which means we have a chance. And apparently up until the 7th minute of stoppage time, they did. Okay, they were going to come away with a point until a penalty kick called. Again, like I said, I don't know about the penalty kick call. Don't know if it was a good call. Don't know if it was a bad call. Didn't see it. I watched, like I said, I turned it off because I wanted to see Wrexham against Millwall. And so that's what I did. Wrexham, by the way, won 2-0, won their first game in the championship. Congratulations to them. I don't know that they're going to be going up this year like they went up the past couple seasons, or 3 or 4 seasons basically. But hey, Wrexham, congratulations on their win. But back to Manchester United, absolutely horrible game that they played at home. And I think the Manchester United fans, I think guys like Flying Pig, Mark Goldbridge, Alice Talks Football, Flex, all those guys are going to be ripping. Saeed's going to be ripping them a new one about this, and rightfully so, because like I said, this was absolutely poor by Manchester United, absolutely very very poor game by Manchester United. Like I said, I turned it off at the same point because I just couldn't stand watching it anymore. They need to get rid of Amarim. They need to bring in a new coach. You need a goalkeeper too. Okay, that's probably the one thing you need more than anything else is a goalkeeper. Okay, that would have been the first thing I would have gotten. Said you brought in Sesko, you brought in Obama. I mean, you brought in attacking player, but you have no defense to speak of. And what's the things that Robbie said of AFTV said the first thing you would have thought they would have gotten a goalkeeper, but they didn't. And instead, they've got Bindier and Onana as your goalkeepers. Absolutely horrible. Very poor. And again, Manchester United, very, very poor today. Couldn't watch any more of it. And my father's a Manchester United fan. And I would have loved to have seen Manchester United at least, dominate Burnley and beat Burnley badly. But they didn't. And it was absolutely poor. Poor performance by Manchester United, in my opinion. And we're gonna watch the reactions by the Manchester United fans, see what they say on YouTube. But that's my opinion. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.